how much is it going to realistically cost to kickstart and then expand your business? So let me just break it down this way. You want to kickstart that business, and if we have a baby analogy, that's when the baby is inside mom and it's grown and it needs a specific amount of time to properly develop, okay? You can't just build a business in a weekend. I guess there's a couple instances you can make a lemonade stand, but if you want to build a sustainable long-term online business serving clients, then it's going to take some time. So kickstart phase is the baby is gestating, and then the expand phase is the baby has been born, and now the baby's going to grow and learn, and basically it's ongoing. So the kickstart phase is usually anywhere from 3 to 5 months, and then expand phase is just ongoing. There's no way you can unfortunately in business you can't just make it all automated and go live in the mountains for years and years and expect it to keep cash flowing for you. You got to put some work into it. So that's the high level of time expectations. Now, I'll be transparent. I've got the Visionary Planner. It's my coaching program. It's a 5-month program, and I'm going to walk you through step by step how to do everything in the kickstart phase. So if we just follow my process in terms of timelines, months 1 and 2, let me just write all the months down. Months 1 and 2, you don't really have any costs aside. If you enroll in the Visionary Planner, the cost of us, but you don't need any services or anything like that, especially in month 1, just because you should be doing a lot of brainstorming and development and content research and competitive analysis. Now, when you get to month 2, that's typically when you want to work on your branding. So that's going to be things like hiring a designer for your logo. That's usually about $250 to $1,000 to hire a really good designer. You don't want to cheese out with your branding. If you try to do a logo on your own, you get some clip art, or you try to do your photos on your own, like you're going to hire I had somebody say, oh, my cousin, he's 15 and he takes great photos. I'm like, oh, I don't know. I like to just pay so I get quality stuff back, because you're paying with money and time, and if you get somebody doing it for free, it still costs you the time. And I found that typically you get what you pay for. So if somebody's doing it for free, you're going to get kind of half-assed stuff back. It's not going to be awesome. So photos are going to be anywhere from $300 to also about $1,000 just to get some decent photos for your website and your social media. Unfortunately, people judge a book by the cover, so we want to make sure that your cover is exactly what people are looking for, and it builds trust. So that's what's going to happen in month 2, and you're looking at, let's say on the low end, that's $550 all the way to $2K for branding expenses. Now, when we get into month 3, you want to start building things out. So I recommend Kajabi. My entire business is built on Kajabi. I'll put a link down below so you can go, and I think I can get you like a 28 or 30-day trial. So I'll put a link down below, or wherever you're seeing this video, there'll be a link. So Kajabi, for what you need in the Kickstart phase, is just $119 a month. And that's going to let you have one site and I think up to 3 offers and some funnels. That's all you need in this stage. So you're going to be having that whopping overhead cost of $119 a month in month 3. And then when you get it, and that's going to be ongoing from that point in your business. Now, when you get into month 4 and you want to start doing sales calls and getting clients, you're going to need a couple of things. One, you're going to need Zoom. You can get Zoom for free, and you have up to a 45-minute time limit. I don't like that, because if you're in a sales call and you're just about to close the lead, and then Zoom's like, your call is ending because you are cheap and don't want to pay $10 a month. It looks kind of bad. So you want to pony out that 10, I think it's like 10 or 15 a month per user. You just need one. And then the other thing is going to be Canva. You can get Canva to do some design work. That's free. You're going to need, I like Typeform for surveys and stuff. I think Typeform is $15 a month. And then Calendly, and Calendly is about $15 a month. So you're looking at, I'm not going to do math here live, but you're looking at less than $200 a month for overhead here inside the Kickstart phase, in addition to the branding cost, right? Not a lot of money to put out, to put an idea out there, test it, validate it, and be ready to expand your business. So it's pretty cost effective. Now you might be thinking, Mike, are there ads or anything? Like, how am I getting leads in the Kickstart phase? Great question. What we don't want to do is go and spend a lot of money on ads. So let me jump in at expand. I'll get to the ads in a second, because everybody wants to know what that looks like. Our goal during and at the end of the Kickstart phase, basically where we graduate, where the baby is born, is you want to get 3 or more sales, because 1 could be a fluke, 2 could be a coincidence, but 3 shows that there's a pattern. People like your stuff. They like the marketing, they're resonating with the branding, your sales funnels are working properly, your sales call system is working properly, and then people are buying into your offer. Really, really critical that you build all that as quickly as possible and then validate it as quickly as possible, because you can't expand unless you have that. Now, a lot of coaching programs out there, they're going to sell you on a marketing tactic, right? So Visionary Planner, we're going to give you a complete A to Z process to do everything in the Kickstart phase. And then once you graduate, now you're ready for marketing tactics. Those are going to be things like Facebook or TikTok ads or Google pay-per-click ads or YouTube ads, Facebook challenges, content marketing, SEO. There's all these marketing like speaking on stages. There's all these great marketing tactics that when you've got your foundation built and it's it's validated, then those marketing tactics are great and your risk is lower. I wish I could say that, everything's proven to work, but you still have to do a lot of testing. So you only want to think about marketing tactics where you're putting money out to basically free your time. So let me back up for a sec. You can go and organically get leads, like you're going to meetups or you're joining Facebook groups and offering value. You're putting content out there, and it's not costing you, but it's costing you your time. But it's going to take you a lot more energy to go out and find leads that way. But in the Kickstart phase, that's absolutely necessary, because you want to have face-to-face with people, pitch your offer, hear their objections, revise the offer until it finally starts to convert in a 20 to 30% range. So that's what we're aiming for, 20 to 30%. So if we're going at the conservative 20% range, 1 out of 5 qualified leads who show up on a sales call are going to buy. Now you might be having referral traffic. You might be like, Mike, I close 80% of my leads, but that's most likely because they're referral traffic. If you're going out and you're just building relationships and you're getting people on calls, then you're looking at 20 to 30% conversion rate. So in the beginning, in the Kickstart phase, what you want to do is organically go out there, build relationships, whether you go to seminars or you're in masterminds or anything like that, and try to just give a lot of value, get the person hooked. It's like you're selling crack, right? Hey, try this out, give them a sample, and then they're like, oh, this is great, I want more. And you're like, hey, I've got my program. So what you want to do is go out there in the Kickstart phase and spend a lot of time just face-to-face with people. I know as an introverted entrepreneur that's hard to do, but it's absolutely necessary, because the ads and the automated systems and all that don't work unless you know that you can sell it in person. Unfortunately, I wish there was a fast way around that, but especially for high ticket, that's just the way to go. So getting back to this, once you've got 3 sales and you're feeling like, wow, people are resonating with the marketing, I'm confident selling this, things are good to go. Then we want to go into expand. And what expand looks like is, like I said before, that's ads, that's content marketing. That could be things like going to events. That could be things like SEO, right? There's all these things that you can do. There's a lot more. There's PR, there's a joint venture. There's just a lot of things you can do to have traffic come over, but that traffic's only going to convert if you've got the foundation, everything that we're going to build in Kickstart done. So what that's going to look like in the expand phase is, for an ad platform in particular, you're going to be looking at a minimum of 5K just to get enough volume in that ad channel where the ad algorithm can start to take over. So if you're going to go do Facebook ads, Facebook ads about 5K, YouTube ads are about 10K to just dial it in. So that means you need to put 5 or anywhere from 5 to 10K into that ad campaign before you know if that's even going to convert or not. So if I'm going to put 5K into an ad campaign where I probably won't get an ROI because everything's getting calibrated, right? So am I going to go and just burn 5K and send those leads into a funnel that is not validated yet, that I don't know if it's going to convert? Hell no. I might as well just burn 5K, which I don't know about you. I don't have 5K lying around that I could just make a campfire out of. So the ads only work, those marketing tactics only work where you're spending your money, which gets very expensive very quickly, if you've got the foundation built, which is why we want to take the time in the Kickstart phase to really do this properly and keep our expenses as low as possible, so the pressure's off your back and you can really focus on giving value to people rather than, oh my gosh, I got to make sales or I'm going to be homeless. That's not fun. But once you get the 3 sales and you get the money coming in, then let's say you've got a $5,000 high ticket offer. Now you've got 15K in the bank, and 15K in the bank is more than enough money to confidently go out there, test a bunch of ads, test different creatives, test different interests and placements until that starts to convert. Now, again, Facebook, IG, and TikTok are going to be about 5K to dial things in, and you're looking at usually anywhere from $100 to $300 per a booked call, and then about anywhere from $1,000 to $2,000 if you're really not optimized to get a buyer. So in other words, you spend 5K a month on ads, you should get about anywhere from 3 to 5 buyers in general if everything's optimized. This, it's not a hard or fast rule. Then on top of that, you might want to hire an ad manager. Like for Visionary Planner, I've got an ad manager. I've got Michael in the UK. What's up, Michael, if you're watching? And I spend about 15K a month currently on ads. This is June 2022 while I'm recording this. So we're still in the testing phase. We got out of the Kickstart phase a couple months ago, and now we're in the expand phase. But you don't want to just go and spend 50K a month on ads and hope for the best. You want to go really and scale it. So getting back to this, Facebook, IG, and TikTok are going to be about 5K just for testing. And then once you've dialed that in to get your numbers, then you're going to basically figure out how much money you want to make each month. If you want to get 10 sales a month and 10 sales cost you, let's say, $1,000 per client, then you're going to have to spend 10K on ads, right, to get 10 sales, which in this scenario, if you got a $5,000 offer, you're going to spend 10K to make 50K, which is like a 5X ROAS, return on ad spend. So that's how that's going to work. Now, YouTube is a lot more expensive because I don't know why, but it is. So I recommend you dial things in on Facebook and IG or TikTok if you're going after a much younger market. And then as you dial that in, you can jump over to YouTube. Now, the thing with Facebook and IG, it's usually like 80% women that are responding to ads. So like 80% of our client base that we get from Facebook IG ads are women. And I've seen that across the board for all different niches. And YouTube, it's the inverse. So 80% of the people on YouTube that are clicking and interacting with ads are male. I don't know why, that's just the way it is. So if you've got like a male-based product, like how to get ripped, or whatever it is, how to drive muscle cars, whatever, then probably YouTube might be the way to go. And if that's the case, then you're going to need to have that much money set aside. So aside from that, your other costs, let me clean all this off. So I'll just say Kickstart and expand. So Kickstart, you already know the expenses for that. But when you go to expand, you're going to need money for ads, or let's just say lead gen. And that should be typically 20% of how much money you're bringing in. So if you want to make 10K a month, you want to spend at least 2K a month on ads. You're also going to need staff. I recommend a virtual assistant, and you can get a good virtual assistant for anywhere from part-time $3,000 to $1,000 a month. Typically with a virtual assistant, it's all about geo arbitrage. So they live in a country where the cost of living is a lot less. These are all like really, you don't want to just hire anybody. You want to interview and do due diligence. But when you find a really great quality candidate, then you're going to be paying them a much lower hourly rate because they live in a lower cost of living country. So I like to have a VA. We've got Nanette. Hey, Nanette, if you're watching, we've got Nanette, and she's fantastic. And we just give her systems to operate, like sending out our newsletters to students or checking my inbox. That's a scary proposition. So VA is a great way for you to save time on tasks that you've already have a system for, a procedure for, standard operating procedure. Another thing is as you scale, you want to have a coach. So like in my company, I've got an accountability coach. I've got Tish, and think of it like the 80-20 rule. So 80% of the time with clients is scheduling and answering emails and just back and forth, kind of like administrative or accountability kind of stuff. So that's 80% of time, and that gets about 20% of the results. But 20% of the time invested is what I do with the client, and that gets them 80% of the results. So that's like the high level business strategy. So if I had to spend all my time, 100% of my time serving clients, and 80% of that time I put in only got 20% of the results, I couldn't really scale, right? I can only have like 5 to 10 clients max, and then I'm filled, right? My revenue stops, and I have to serve those clients and stop doing ads and everything. And basically my business has to go and hibernate until I have more bandwidth. We don't want to do that. So when you're able to hire a coach, you can basically 5x your client volume, knowing that the coach, which is going to be anywhere from like 6 to 8K a month, you might have to pay more, or depending on if you're like, I don't know, teaching people heart surgery, then maybe you got to pay like 20K for an awesome surgeon to be your coach, but you get the point. So it's kind of the general. So the coach is going to cost you that. You also eventually might want to have like a sales department. So especially a setter, appointment setter is going to be great for getting people booked on your call calendar. And then after you get a certain volume, like anywhere from 30 to 50K, even 100K, depending on how big you want to scale. At that point, you're going to also want to get a closer. So typically, like we pay our setters $2K a month. It's full-time work for them, and then they get commission and all these other things. So they can make anywhere from 4 to 10K a month, depending on the month. And then a closer, they're typically on commission only, so you're going to pay them 10 to 15%. So let's say you've got let's just keep it simple. Let's say you got a $10,000 coaching program and you spent, let's just say $1,500 for the ads just to acquire the leads. And then you're going to spend another 15% on your closer because they get commission. And then you're going to give another $200 for your setter for booking the call. And then that's going to take you down to $3,200. So really you're making $6,800 profit from that 10K purchase. So that's a lot off the top. And then on top of that, you're looking at your overhead. So let's say you have an ad manager, you've got a social media person, you've got your coach to pay, you've got to pay your salary, you've got services and stuff. So your overhead can be anywhere from 40 to 50%. Which is fine. So if you're if you get a $10,000 client, you walk away with 5K profit that you can then put back into ads or hiring more people, basically expanding your business. That's pretty good. And then as you expand, then your costs go down. They should go down to like 30-40% overhead cost as you scale that business up past like the $100,000 mark. So I mentioned this in a previous video, but basically if this is you starting at zero, and let's say your goal is to hit 100K a month, so MMR, monthly recurring revenue. You're looking at, in the first 2 months, you're looking at flat line. When you get around month 3 through 5, you should start getting some sales, and you want to consistently get to about 10K a month. I don't know why, but that's just a good benchmark. It lets you quit your day job or whatever else you're doing. Quit all that so you can make growing your business your main focus. So that's going to hit you, it's going to get you the 10K mark. Now at that time, you're doing everything organically. So you don't really have any overhead costs. You've got your Kajabi at $119, basically for $200 a month of services. But that's pretty awesome. So after that point, when you're going to be able to pretty much, with low costs, get up to like 30K a month. And around there, you're going to want to hire that VA, and maybe you hire a part-time accountability coach just to take some of the bandwidth off your plate. But once you hit that 30K mark, then what's going to happen is to go and push forward to 50K, you're going to take a big dip in revenue because you're going to have to start running ads. You're going to have to get probably a sales team, right? So that's where here, if you sell a 10K package, you're walking away pretty much with 10K in profit. Here, when you have your team, you're looking at maybe 8K in profit. But here, when you hit this 50K mark, you're looking at, like we showed you before, you're looking at like 6K profit because you got ads, you got a bigger team. So what happens is once you hit that 30K mark and you try to push through to 50K, your revenue goes down. Like you're making more money, but you're bringing less in because you got a much higher expenses. So like the highest risk is here and here. This is also going to be risk. So that's why you don't want to go into this. This is expanding. You don't want to go into that expand phase until you've really dialed in and you've got at least 3 months at 10K, and then you can scale that up to at least 3 months at 30K. And during that time, you're like running ads and you're getting things going. And then you can gun it and start going to 50K and then 100K and however, sky's the limit. But if you want to have a boutique at-home business, then this 10K mark, once you get everything dialed in, you get predictable client flow, right? Because you don't want to have months where you got no leads coming in. It's scary. So you want to spend a lot of time to dial that in before you get to the expand phase. That's it. So hopefully now you're clear on timelines, you're clear on costs, you're clear on big expectations, and there you go. So if you have any questions about that, drop a comment below. And also, if you want to know more about Visionary Planner, just go over to visionaryplanner.com. Is actually you can go to the or not the, either way it works. So just go to visionaryplanner.com, and everywhere on the page you'll see buttons that are going to let you book a call with us. You can book a call with my team, my setter, and he'll explain more about the process and what it's like to work with us, and we'll see if it's the right fit. So other than that, hopefully this serves you, and I look forward to seeing you in next week's live stream. I'm going to be in Paris next week, so I'll have some thoughts about the world. So anyhow,